So one little old Joker movie comes out and everybody loses their minds.
That's right.
This is crazy. It just when you didn't think the Joker situation could get any more insane than it already has. I mean, we're talking about a movie that's not even out yet. And there's already so much controversy attached to it, and 99.9% of the controversy has nothing to do with the movie itself. It's the media,
yes,
making it into this preemptive bad thing.
Right. I mean, that's just what it is. It's the media is going around stirring up crap. And, you know, there's like, if something happens, it's the movie's fault. It's like, no, something probably will happen at this point. And something will happen. I blame the media. Because they might not have this idea until the media had it everywhere. And it's constant. If people want things for attention, they're going to do things for attention. Because guess who's going to be right there to pick up the story? The media.
Do they want something bad to happen?
I think they do.
Do they want some juicy...
So they can say it's incels or something like that. Because this movie dare beat out their favorite darlings at the, you know, these awards and stuff.
I don't understand. Like, I've never seen a hate-on for a movie like this before, and from all indication, it's supposed to be a damn good movie.
Yeah, it's not my kind of movie. I mean, I'm defending it, but I'm defending its right to be out there. I'm not going to see it. I have no desire to see this movie because this is not my kind of movie. And I will be the first one to say that. I admit this is not my kind of movie.
I'm going to it without geeky. So this is Neon and Geeky for Clownfish TV. And we're going to talk about the Joker. We're going to talk about the fact that Warner Brothers is shutting down the media. They're shutting out the media because they're tired of these stupid questions.
Yes.
That they keep getting. They're tired of the media stoking the outrage fire.
Right.
And I actually have to give them a round of applause for doing that because, you know, this needs to be done. I think the Joker is going to show people what the media actually is, and they love outrage, they love a juicy story, and the Joker's been there. Yeah, the irony in all this is they're bullying the Joker movie, kind of like the Joker character gets bullied in the movie. They're driving the studios over the edge.
Well, not just the studios. I honestly think they're trying to do it to incite something, and then they can say, "Look, we told you so." I really do, because there's no other reason I could think of. I mean, I can understand, you know, raising a couple concerns in the beginning, but it's gotten far past that into something absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about Warner Brothers shutting down the media. We're gonna talk about some of the preemptive moves that movie theaters are taking, that the police are taking, that everybody's losing their minds over this movie. I mean, this is just insane. So, before we get into that, please subscribe to Clownfish TV. If you haven't subscribed already, we hit like 64,000 subs, hoping for 100,000 very, very soon. We want to keep bringing you content. We want to keep having these discussions. And to do that, we need views. We need support. So thank you. Joker from Deadline. Joker, Warner Brothers restricts broadcast and print reporters from red carpet at Hollywood premiere. They shut them down. Okay, so with the media on high alert because of the media.
The media on high alert because they made sure of it.
Code red. Red for blood.
About possible threats. What possible threats?
Apparently there was a possible threat, I think, that was...
Was it a real one, or did they make it up?
I don't know. Warner Brothers is curbing broadcast and print interviews from their Hollywood premiere Saturday night because, they cornered Joaquin Phoenix. They asked him a very loaded question. He got pissed off. He's like, I'm not answering
this. It's like, no matter how I answer, you're gonna spin it, you know, against me, and this is absolute crap.
Yeah, so the press members invited to the premiere to watch the movie are still welcome, but only the photographers will be allowed on the red carpet at the Chinese theater. A lot has been said about Joker, and we just feel it's time for people to see the film.
Yeah, instead of just, you guys are talking about a lot about it, but if you haven't seen it...
Right, and
you know,
they're all making these crazy assumptions about it. Most of the people who've seen it said it was actually very, very good. I don't think Joaquin Phoenix would be in a movie that promoted, you know, or glorified violence, giving some of his other political leanings. That's just my gut feeling on that. So curbing journalists from the red carpet prevents them from asking execs and Joker talent their thoughts on potential security threats at screenings.
Yeah, because you know what? You guys are making it this issue. Why aren't you asking them their thoughts about what could be done with mental health issues in the country to avoid this? Why aren't you asking them their thoughts about how hard was it to have to, to try to portray a character like this? What did you do to practice? What did you learn from it? No. What are your thoughts about maybe security threats because the Joker is going to be the Joker? And how dare the Joker be the Joker?
How dare the Joker be the Joker? Individual movie chains like AMC, Regal, and Landmark have made their safety policies known. We're going to talk about that. Last night, the LAPD said that while there are no credible threats being made in conjunction with Joker, they will be on high visibility at movie theaters. So they're going to patrol movie theaters. This is crazy. You know what's going to happen? Somebody is going to do something completely unrelated to the Joker because that is a very Joker move because everybody's attention is fixated and obsessed on this movie. Unfortunately, somebody will probably do something elsewhere.
Or somebody can get hurt because they're going to, be just being innocent, but then they do something that makes them think that they're doing something, they aren't, and someone shoots them because they're trigger happy or something now because everybody's so scared. I think they're trying to scare people from going to the theater.
This sounds really crazy, but I wondered that before. I wondered if this wasn't some sort of weird, like Machiavellian studio move to deter people from seeing Joker because it is predicted to have a pretty big opening. I mean, they're talking $80 to $100 million for a fairly low budget superhero movie, and I'm wondering if they're just not trying to stir up controversy to keep people away from it, to make this movie taboo. I mean, for God's sake, how many years ago did Caligula come out in the theaters? I mean, we're talking, there have been movies over the last several decades that have been a lot more risque.
Yeah, or a lot more questionable, or for glorified violence, and that no one, that was okay.
Joker. I mean, they're just even in recent memory, but because it's the Joker, it's a problem. So I don't know. I mean, again, that's tinfoil hat, but could I see a rival movie studio trying to stir stuff up behind the scenes to tank this movie?
Because we see other movies that have glorified violence or do different things, and no one's having a shit fit about that. They aren't worried that, like I said, Captain Marvel, they did cut that scene out where she beat the crap out of the guy. He mugged the guy basically for saying a smile. They took that out of the theater, but they put it in the DVD. I mean, aren't they afraid that a bunch of girls are going to run around mugging men because they say smile?
Earlier this week, Stars and Stripes published a report that an Army Criminal Investigation Command memo was issued earlier in the week and put commanders at Fort Sill in Oklahoma on notice about an intelligence bulletin stating that a Texas law enforcement agency working with the FBI had discovered disturbing and very specific chatter on the dark web. Regarding the potential targeting. Yeah, I mean, look.
Well, I'm sure they, this, if nothing else, like I said, do I think this could happen? 100%. Do I think that it's being perpetuated by the media and it's being the media's reaction is going to make it more likely? Hell yeah. I think it might have been a possibility before, but I think after the way the media has behaved, I can almost guarantee you someone's going to do something in regards to the Joker.
Yeah, so this is interesting. Oh, the friendly media, the not so friendly. Now these guys are going to be shut out. Gizmodo, which is IO9, reached out for comment to Warner Brothers, and they got shot down.
Of course they did.
When reached for a comment, Warner Brothers spokesperson did not give IO9 a reason for the press being barred, which is highly unusual, if not unprecedented, but gave the following statement: "A lot has been said about Joker, and we just feel it's time for people to see the film."
Right, except you're judging something by the media. You haven't even seen it.
All right, so the media that has spent all this time sucking up to these studios, right? Writing hit pieces against fandoms.
Yeah.
Trying to keep their access. Now they are spurned. They are butthurt at Warner Brothers because Warner Brothers has locked them out. Listen to this. This is many media outlets, including IO9, discuss real-world issues touched on in the movies we cover, comic books or otherwise. It's not often studios are eager to participate in the more serious conversations with us, and thankfully, that's beginning to change.
IO9 and sites like you, why the hell would they have those the conversations would indicate that there is a back and forth. There is a actual conversation. There hasn't been a conversation. There has been all kinds of pieces out there talking about, oh, it's made for incels. Oh, it's made for white guys. Oh, it's made for this. And then you got to interview the actors. Then you're asking questions that really were loaded questions. I wouldn't have answered your question. You clearly are have an agenda with this film, but you're mad because they need to have important conversations. I agree. Important conversations need to be had about things like mental health. Where are those important conversations?
So, yeah, well, that's the thing. They're basically they're butthurt that they're not answering the questions the way they want to answer the questions. The journalists are butthurt because they can't guide the conversation, the narrative in the way that they're used to.
They can't control and use their soapbox to have these, journalists in quotes skew everything around to be about what they want it to be about.
Warner Brothers' decision is so questionable. They wouldn't let outlets like IO9 and Polygon ask really tough questions.
No, it's not about tough questions. There aren't tough questions. You guys are just like, you guys are deliberately trying to skew it a certain way. Conversation, like I said, would indicate that there is a discussion. There is no discussion. There is you guys just going around, I'm not just blaming IO9 here, I'm blaming media in general, on these wild half-cocked accusations about things. There are no way to discuss it. When they try to answer or give you comments back, you find fault with that. If I were them, I'd shut you out too. I'd be like, kiss my ass. Forget it.
This is where the media turns on the studios. Warner Brothers suddenly deciding to bar reporters from the movie's premiere doesn't send the message that the studio is actually interested in giving its director and cast a chance to unpack Joker's big ideas.
What big ideas? You guys keep saying it's not a big idea. It's just an incel movie and shouldn't exist.
The quotes that they want to be able to cherry pick. In Phillips' own dialogue, the director Phillips doesn't either. It suggests the studio might never have fully understood the full gravity of moving forward with this movie, or that once the studio realized it was going to have to answer difficult questions about the end product, it chose to simply cut the press's access off altogether. Writers Guild of America East members were previously invited to a screening held next week. We have confirmed the screening is still taking place, but have yet to confirm if the Q&A has been canceled. If so, it would mark a rather alarming precedent.
They're not banned from it. They said they still can go in, but they can't be on the red carpet asking questions. That's what they said. Just photographers were like, they haven't been banned from going to the thing. And beyond that, they didn't know what the end result was. I'm so tired. I am so tired of mainstream media. I'm just getting sick. I loosely even call these people mainstream media. I am so tired of it because if it's not their narrative, it's not their darling, if somebody isn't kissing their ass, they do this kind of stuff. And it's like the difficult questions. What difficult questions? You guys, do you know what I'm saying? It's like
You're pop culture blogs. You don't have.
Beyond that, they don't. The only difficult questions they want to ask are their skewed questions. Where are the questions that are fair questions?
Well, that's just.
And I'm not even somebody who's a fan of this movie or want to see this movie. Just somebody watching the situation.
Well, that's just it. It's they want to control, and this shows right here. Pop culture media in particular, they want to control the narrative. They want to, and I think they've had the ear of these studios for much too long, kind of like Wormtongue in Lord of the Rings.
And the studio's starting to realize that maybe some of these far, far, far leftist people aren't really on their side.
Yeah, I think the Polygons, the IO9s, the Sci-Fi Wires, the Inverses especially, some of the people at Comic Book Resources, these people, because they're the press, they've been chumming up to...
I use press in quotes.
Yeah, the studios, the publishers, the game developers, the comic book companies and whatnot, and whispering into their ears. They've made decisions, I think, based on a very skewed version or vision of the fandom based on it being filtered through these outlets.
Exactly.
And now... this has kind of come home to roost because now they're turning on them.
If they turned around and said, we're blocking everybody that isn't, an agreement that The Last Jedi is great from the next Star Wars film, they would find that would be completely acceptable for them.
So here we have a couple of theaters asking moviegoers to not wear costumes.
Well, I can understand that.
I can understand that. The weirdest incident we ever had was, what was it? Spider-Man fighting with Darth Maul
at the one Star Wars film, and they made them both leave.
But I think at this point, I personally think that's a fair request, especially after what happened in Colorado. I think it's a fair request. But yeah, I've never seen the media freak out like this, and I think this is going to be a turning point. I think this is this is going to be a breaking point. Again, I hope nothing bad happens, but this is going to be a breaking point because I think the studios are getting to the point now where they're like, you know what? Yeah, no more. We're not playing this game with you guys anymore.
There are lots of movies.
We've played along for years. We're not doing this anymore.
There's lots of movies I don't agree with, or there's something about that I don't like, and I worry could lead to other things. And you know what? But it's not my decision. It's the studio's decision to make, and I respect that. And some people like them, and I don't, and I'll respect that. You're allowed to like it. You're allowed not to like it. This movie is not for me. That being said, I still understand and respect their right to make it.
Yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully nothing. Again, hopefully nothing bad happens. This is funny though. It is sort of like the Joker watching mainstream media freak out over a movie that hasn't even come out yet. You know, the point where it's just mass hysteria. The Joker, the actual Joker, if there were an actual Joker, because he's fictitious, but he would find this hysterical.
Yes, because that was what he tried to do, was mass hysteria and everything else.
Yeah,
you just did it for him.
You just fed right into like one of the Joker's plots. Like seriously, this could have been lifted out of a comic book. That the Joker, just the mere mention of his name or his possible appearance causes mass hysteria. But like I said, meanwhile, he goes and does something else completely unexpected, which is more what I'm worried about. And then people still blame the movie. Even
That's what I'm saying. My takeaway is, I hope nothing happens. I am worried something's going to happen, but it's not because of the movie. It's because of the media surrounding the movie. And they're basically, everything that's been said, it's like almost like they want somebody to do something.
Yeah, and yeah. I don't know how else to.
So then they get more control. See, we have to do it our way.
Yeah. See, if you'd listened to us, Warner Brothers, if you'd listened to the media like you were supposed to, this wouldn't have happened.
If you made Joker friendly and not use, and not use guns like we were doing with Black Widow, this wouldn't have happened.
God, I don't know. So we're gonna watch this. This is this is unprecedented. I will agree with IO9. This is unprecedented. This is an unprecedented amount of hysteria over a movie that I don't think warrants. Again, I think it's worth having concern.
War of the Worlds.
It's War of the World. Yeah, pretty much. Everybody's freaking out, panicking in the streets over a movie. Look, it's been 7 years since the Colorado theater incident, and there have been countless movies released since then. Countless movies that were violent.
Movies with Joker in it.
Did
they release Suicide Squad at that theater?
I'm sure they did.
I don't know if they did or not.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Well, maybe not.
Know?
In that case, they might not have. But I just don't understand. I don't understand why this movie now. When
I get the concern. I understand the concern. I see where they're coming from, but I think they're creating the monster. Like they're making. It was something that wasn't there, and now it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. They're making it happen. Because they keep fixating on it happening, that it's going to make it happen. You know what I mean? Because you're just given the idea, you just put the idea in people's heads that might not have had that idea to begin with.
But they'll blame the movie if something happens. They'll blame.
It'll be Joaquin Phoenix's fault.
It'll somehow be Joaquin Phoenix's fault. They will blame everybody but themselves. So typical fashion. True to form, these journalists, who cause a lot of problems and don't want to take any responsibility for the problems they cause. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm probably gonna go see it. You don't have to.
I'm not. I don't have a desire. It's not my kind of movie, and it's not my thing. So I will not probably go to see it.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this one up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants here on Clownfish TV. This has been Neon and Geeky.
Bye.
Goodbye. Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.